You're listening to Eat, Play, Sex with Dr. Cat, the place to up-level that sexy life of yours, with expert talk on sex, love, and nutrition.
My guest, what would you tell your younger self that would have helped them around sex or love?
I think I went through that phase of not wanting to be that girl, air quotes, that
yeah.
girl, the girl that had emotional needs. I wanted to be able to be cool, and I always had a high sex drive, and I just kind of wanted to be one of the boys and like not have to be needy. And have big emotions that maybe needed to be held or attended to. And I think I just wish that I could tell younger Allie that big feelings are just so natural and okay, and not something to be ashamed of or or have to hide away, and that actually big feelings can be incredibly sexy and erotic and really useful for flirting, because when we dampen some of our emotional experience, we just unintentionally dampen our access to so much more, including our desires and often our confidence.
Oh my God. That's yes. I feel like baby Cat and baby Allie would be like best friends. Like I'm pretty sure we would sit in a corner together and be like, we don't have any needs. We're self-sufficient. We're sovereign beings. And then all the boys and girls around us would be like, fine, then go be by yourself.
And then we would confess how big our feelings are, and we'd cry and hold each other.
Yeah, pretty much. Right in our journals. Today I felt this. Today I discovered I had needs. I just want to be held.
Yeah. Just how normal that is. Oh, we just think that's so needy. It is such a bad rap. And humans all have needs. We can't get around that.
Right. And I feel like there's something in the humanness of that helps other people to be able to connect with that. That's versus, right. I've received the reflection from in past relationships. They were like, well, I just felt like I couldn't, like, you didn't need anything from me. I couldn't teach you anything. And it was almost like they did. They put me on a pedestal of being this, all-knowing Dr. Cat, super cool. But they didn't feel like they could connect or be human with that. So that was a big revelation for me of doing this dance of relationships.
Yes, I have to say dating and doing this work is a totally different ball game. And that experience of being pedestaled is it's uncomfortable. It doesn't actually leave space for the messy humanness that we all experience. And it makes it hard to be vulnerable when somebody isn't expecting that from you, right? And it's also hard to be vulnerable when when we feel like we have a reputation or a professional edge to maintain. And I think that vulnerability is what creates intimacy, right? And the vulnerability comes when we have needs, but vulnerability also comes if we can acknowledge, hey, sometimes I might put you on a pedestal, or if we can say like, hey, sometimes I feel like there's not enough space for me to just be messy and imperfect. And like, that's such a great entryway into like deconstructing that dynamic and getting to something a little juicier.
Yeah. It sort of like cracks us wide open instead of being contracted in a space of like, I have to contain all of these things and I can't let it be seen.
Yeah, or that like one part of us has to be all of us. And I just think that we're so multifaceted. I have so many parts of me, and I want them all to be welcomed in my intimate relationships.
That's beautiful, and not in a schizophrenic type of way, but you have like girl, I feel you. I'm complex. Like sometimes Lola comes out, sometimes Coco comes out. I don't even know.
I have taken to naming some of my different parts before, like my really aggressive defender part, and my inner critic, and maybe my inner cheerleader, and like I just think that it's nice to be able to relate to these different parts of ourselves, because then we don't have to fully identify with any one of them, and it gives me some spaciousness around it, and it allows me to have more access to this part of me that's to be a conscious observer. And it's like, oh, there I am thinking that thought again, or doing that habit or pattern, or and it helps me not feel so carried away by those natural human experiences.
Lovers, thank you again for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, hit subscribe And head over to eatplaysex.com to connect with me and grab my sexy guides. Because my goal here is to get you to eat, play, and sex better so you can improve your sex life, which will improve every aspect of your life. Until next time, keep it sexy.